Hey guys, it is Candace with King's Prosper Network. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have been down for 5 days. I'm finally getting my voice back. I had the flu and it was not a fun time, but I am an overcomer because here I am. But look, I wanted to do this video and I'm not sure if you know who Dani Johnson is, but she is this amazing woman who I follow. I've read several of her books. She's amazing, and she used to be homeless, and she is now like a multi-millionaire, and she is on I guess like the motivational speaker circuit. She really makes people think. She helps people increase their wealth, and I was reading something of hers the other day, which caused me to want to do this video. And this video is going to provide you with some spiritual laws as to God's financial kingdom and what you can do to guarantee that you will live a life of poverty. And I know that nobody wants that. I don't think anybody, when they're born and they go through life, think, oh, when I grow up, I want to be broke. All right? So these are going to be 7 laws for you to take note of to see if this is the reason why you are still struggling with your finances. So I'll be right back and we will dive right in. Hey guys, so welcome back. Now let's get on to these 7 spiritual laws, okay? And the first one is a lack of wisdom. And wisdom can be defined as understanding, discernment, and a lot of people are broke or struggling financially because they're just not wise with money. All right? In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5, it says, if any one of you lacks wisdom, ask God, because he will give it to you freely. All right? Now, according to the book of Proverbs, okay, it says that what use, I have notes over here, you guys, what use is money in the hand of a fool, since he has no desire to get wisdom? Wow, think about that for a second, okay? What good would it be for someone who has no idea on how to wisely use their money, invest their money? What good is that going to be to someone when they're not wise with it? It's no good to put money into the hand of someone who is not wise. All right? And it also goes on to say in Proverbs 21:17 that he who loves pleasure is going to become poor. And those are people who have money, but then they go off on the weekends and they're partying or they're entertaining themselves at the movies, you know, or they're buying, you know, the brand new Louis Vuitton bag when they don't have enough money to pay their electric bill. Those kind of things, okay? So lack of wisdom, that is number 1. Okay, moving on to law number 2, and that is laziness. And there's no other way to say it. Laziness, okay? In the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 19, it says, he who works is going to have plenty of food. All right? And in Proverbs 6:9, it's like, how long will you lie there, you sluggard? That's a funny word, sluggard. But it's like people who are just laying back, not doing anything. All right? So if you're not going to work, you're not going to put in the effort, that's going to cause you to not have an abundance of wealth. All right? Like, I know a lot of people, and I know some people personally, even people within, you know, family and whatnot, that decided they don't want to do anything, and so they just lay around and they don't have much because they decided, you know, hey, I don't want to work, or, I don't want to do anything to further my knowledge, further wisdom, okay? There's no magic formula, all right, that's going to just make money fall out of the sky, all right? But if you want to get wealth, then you're going to have to work for it. And there's many different ways to work, like myself, I'm an entrepreneur, all right? I do online marketing, I post ads, I get paid, but it's still work, all right? And I used to be a paralegal. That's work, I went to the law firm, I did all the things that I needed to do as a paralegal with legal research and typing up documents and, filing court documents, So if you want to gain wealth, then you have to work. Simple as that. Okay, law number 3, you guys, hiding your sins. Okay, nobody likes to talk about sin, but I'm going to tell you something, all right? God already knows everything anyway, and there's no reason to try to hide it from him because he sees everything, okay? But when we try to cover things up, all right, that's going to cause you to not succeed financially. It says in Proverbs 28:13, if you cover up your sin, you will never do well. All right? You don't want to try to keep hiding that junk, all right? There's no reason to. You need God to shine a big old spotlight on it and just bring it all out in the open and just be like, okay, look, this is me, this is my junk, help me with this. And you know what? When you do that and you turn away from that junk that's holding you back, then you give yourself an opportunity to get forgiveness from God, all right? And he will make those changes inside of you, all right? And those are what is going to lead you to prosperity. As crazy as it sounds, but it's very, very true, all right? Because I myself, I'll be quite honest with you, in my past, I have quite the jaded past, and I'm sure it would probably surprise a whole lot of you, but I kind of reached the end of myself one day, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to live like this anymore. And I mean, you're talking to somebody here. At one point in my life, I was on welfare, I was on food stamps, I lived in a mobile home that was run down. I remember the front door was so tore up that it was held together with duct tape, you guys. All right? That used to be me. And when I said, okay, God, I'm sick of this junk, the things that I was doing wrong in my life that I knew weren't doing me any good and were actually, taking away from any finances that I did have at the moment. But when I gave all that stuff to him and I just brought it all out into the light and I said, okay, God, change me. You know what? Things started happening in my life and I became very successful in my career as a paralegal, where I was making a very, very good salary. And I know that is because I decided to quit trying to hide my junk and get it right. So that is the third thing that you guys want to take note of. If you are trying to hide anything, then don't. Just give it to him and say, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live this way anymore. Help me. And guess what? He will. And that sets you up for prosperity rather than poverty. Okay, law number 4, you guys. Loving money above everything else. All right. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10 says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. It does not, one time does it say that money is evil itself, okay? But it is the love of money. And when you love money when it never gives you enough, okay? If you feel like something is never fulfilled, that you never have enough money, if that's the case, then you're making money an idol, okay? And instead of worshiping God. Because honestly, God is the one who provides us wealth. God is the one who gives us the ability to create wealth, okay? Money comes from Him. Everything is His, all right? But when you are loving that money more than you love God, then it's become an idol, okay? And His number one commandment is to love Him, all right? Above anything else. And you need to love Him with all of your heart, with all of your being. Because you can't serve two masters, okay? Because if you try to serve two masters, you're going to end up hating one and loving the other, all right? And it says, and if you love money above God, above your spouse, above your children, poverty is going to come and find you, all right? So seek God first. Seek His kingdom first, and then all of these things will be added unto you. All right? So that is number 4. Number 4, you guys. Don't love money more than God. Okay, law 5. Being prideful when you do have a lot of money. Okay? God, like I said before with the law number 4, okay? God's the one who gives us wealth. So if you are endowed with a big sum of money, or you make a big fat paycheck, or you've earned a huge commission, you've got to remember to give God the glory, because He is the one who gave you that ability to create that wealth, okay? But when you start puffing yourself up and, like, what do I need to thank God for? I earned this. I did this. That's a dangerous, dangerous place to be, okay? God wants us to be prosperous. He wants to just lavish all kinds of good gifts on us, okay? But He does that for those whose hearts are turned toward Him, all right? Because it says in Deuteronomy 28:47 through 48, because you did not serve the Lord your God joyfully and gladly in the time of prosperity, therefore in hunger and in thirst, in nakedness and dire poverty, you will serve the enemies that the Lord sends against you. Whoa, you guys, that is like, whoa. I don't want to ever think that I'm the one who provided this income for myself, all right? Because I know that it was God who gave it to me. And you guys need to humble yourselves and exalt God. Because when you do that, you put yourself in a position to get more wealth. But when you start thinking, I don't need God, He didn't supply this to me, and those lines of thinking, that's going to just cause you to totally crash and burn and hit rock bottom. Okay, guys, law 6. Being stingy or miserly. Some people aren't familiar with the term miserly, but it's another word for being stingy, okay? And it says in Proverbs 28:22 that a stingy man is eager to get rich and is unaware that poverty awaits him, okay? And you guys really need to grasp the understanding of stingy, okay? Because some people confuse that with being frugal. And honestly, there is a difference between stinginess and being frugal, all right? Because frugal means that you're spending your money wisely, but being stingy means that you're selfishly hoarding your money. And usually you do that out of greed or out of fear, okay? Because you worry that you won't have enough, so you're just going to hold on to it. But a frugal person spends their money wisely on things that they know that they need, instead of like, well, I'm not going to help this person because I might not have enough. But a frugal person is someone, say for example, just even with us, we turned off our cable television. I'm like, what the heck are we paying $147 a month for when all we do is sit there with the remote, click, 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 there's nothing on TV. I could perfectly live without television whatsoever. My husband, on the other hand, he likes his TV time, but we did get rid of the cable, and we purchased a $20 HD TV antenna, and, we have Amazon Fire Stick, so he streams, shows that he likes to watch. And what does that cost us? Like $10 a month instead of $147. So we have extra money that we can actually give to other causes and also save money ourselves. So that's the difference between being stingy and being frugal. And that is Law 6. Okay, guys, Law 7, fear. Do not let fear hold you back. Look, in Matthew chapter 25, Jesus told a story about 3 servants and their master. And the master was going away, so he gave each of the servants a talent, okay? And we'll look at that talent as money. So he gave each of them the exact amount of money, all right? And the first servant invested the money, got money back on it, earned interest and all that. The second one did the same thing. Didn't earn as much as the first servant, but he still invested and he still got his master's money back with interest. And then the third servant did absolutely nothing. And so when the master came back and he asked each of them, what they had done, and he found out that the 2 servants invested and earned interest, and he was very happy with them. And then the one who did absolutely nothing because of fear, he was not happy with him at all, okay? And this servant, because of the fear, showed a lack of faith. And because of that lack of faith, everything was taken from him. He was left with absolutely nothing, not even the 1 talent that he was given to begin with, you guys. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 25, it says, "A greedy man stirs up dissension, but he who trusts in the Lord will prosper." Okay? So when you're greedy and you're holding on to it, you don't want to let it go because you're afraid of what would happen. You're not trusting in the Lord. But when you trust in the Lord and you just release it to Him, guess what? He is going to cause you to prosper. But if you keep holding on to it, you're lacking faith. And you have to trust God. You have to put your faith in Him. And when you do that, good things are going to happen. Okay? Now, these 7 laws that I've talked to you about that keep you in bondage to poverty, okay? Think about this, all right? God wants to bless His children. He wants to see us prosperous, all right? But when we are acting like little brats and we're being selfish and we're being greedy or we're being lazy, then He's not going to bless us and He's not going to prosper us. It's just like we as parents, if you have children, you can totally relate to this, all right? Because I have kids. And when my kids are throwing a fit and they are whining or having a tantrum or being lazy and not wanting to do anything around the house, those type of things, I certainly don't want to bless them. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, here's $50 to go spend at the mall. Or yeah, let's go buy that outfit that you wanted. No, I don't do those things when my kids are not behaving in the right way. All right? And the same thing goes with God, okay? He is not going to bless us. He's not going to prosper us if we are being selfish and stingy, okay? So He wants people to be free. And that's why I wanted to do this video because, like I said, I was reading something earlier last week, and it really made me want to do this video because so many people, I think, are trapped in this financial bondage like this, you guys. And it's because maybe you're doing one of these 7 things, or maybe you're doing all of them. I don't know. But I want you to see that there are ways to get free. All right, so I'm going to do another video later this week, and it is going to go over the laws to be prosperous, not the laws that keep you in bondage to poverty, but laws that are going to set you down that road to becoming prosperous, wealthy, and abundant. All right? So I hope that you've gotten some value out of this video. And if you find that you are doing any of those 7 things that are keeping you down here financially, just give it to God. Say, look, I'm sorry. Help me. Give me wisdom. Show me what to do differently, because He will do that and He will forgive you and everything will be like wiped away, clean slate. He did it for me. He can do it for you guys too. Just take some faith. All right? So I hope that you've gotten some value. I love you guys. Please like this video. Please share it with someone. And if you have questions or you just want to say hey, comment down below. But I'll be seeing you guys soon with another video, and I hope you have an amazing day.